In problem number 1 for the study guide, for the quiz, we are going to figure out the end behavior of the polynomial. My degree is 5. That's an odd degree. All odd degrees are in different directions. So normally odd degree starts down and ends up, but my coefficient's -2. It flips it upside down. So this graph is going to start up and down. In problem number 2, my degree is 5 because that's my highest degree. Since I have an odd degree, the end behavior has to be in opposite directions. My coefficient is 2, so this graph is not flipped down. All odd degrees start down and up. In problem number 3, my degree is 4. All even degrees have to go in the same direction. My coefficient is 4. It's not a negative, so it's not going to change it. So this starts up and it's going to end up for my end behavior of the graph. In problem number 4, my degree is 6. That's an even degree. It's either going to be up, up, or down, down. My leading coefficient's a negative, so it's going to flip the graph upside down. So I'm going to start down, and because it's even, it's got to go in the same direction, so it's going to end down. In problem number 5, we are going to find the cubic polynomial function. These are my zeros. So 5 is a 0, 5 is a 0, -5 is a 0. These make the binomial 0. So if I have 5, 5 minus 5 is 0. And then 5 minus 5 is 0. And the last one, -5, is 0. So there's all my binomials. To figure out what the polynomial is, I need to go ahead and multiply this. So I'm going to multiply my first two binomials together by using FOIL. So my first terms, x times x is x squared. My outer term, x times -5, that's how I got that -5x. My inner term, -5 times 5x minus 5x. And then my last term, -5 times -5 is 25. So now I need to do the distributive property. Here's my trinomial, here's my binomial. Notice I took my binomial and multiplied by each term in the trinomial. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. X squared times x plus 5. That's how I got x cubed. X squared times 5, 5x squared. And I went ahead and did that for the rest of the problems. And then I combined my like terms. That's how I got this polynomial of 3 degrees. In problem number 6, I'm going to classify this by the degree. So make sure you use the table that says degrees. I have a 5th degree. 5th degree is quintic. So that is a quintic polynomial. In question 7, I am classifying by the number of terms. I have 3 terms here. 1, 2, 3. 3 terms. Now look at my table. 3 terms, you remember from Algebra 1, 2, that is a trinomial. In problem number 8, we're going to write in standard form. Standard form is in order by degree. I go from the highest degree to lowest degree. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply x squared times 3x squared. That's how I got 3x to the 4th. And then I go 3x squared times -5x squared. So that's how I got -5x cubed. Put it in order. So I have my 5th degree comes first, then my 4th degree. In problem number 9, I am going to factor. I look at problem 9, I notice right away I know a greatest common factor is x, so I divide them all by x. Write x right here. So now I'm going to factor the trinomial. So to factor this trinomial, I got to ask myself what multiplies to 24 and adds to 10. The factors are 6 and 4. I'm going to go ahead and check the middle to make sure that's correct. So 6 times x, 6x. X times 4, 4x. That adds up to 10, so I know it's factored correctly. In problem 10, I'm going to find the zeros, and I'm going to make the graph. So I have x times x times x. My degree is 3. So my degree is 3. I'm going to start, the graph's got to start down, and it's got to end up. And then my zeros. This x is by itself, so I have x equals 0, so here it is on the graph, right there. Negative 3 makes a binomial 0, so I'll put negative 3 on the graph right here. Negative 2 makes that 0, and I'll put negative 2 in the graph. If I have a degree of 3, it is going to have an N shape. I'm going to start down, end up. There's my graph. On question 11, I am going to find the solutions to the polynomial equation. My degree is 3 here. I need to find 3 solutions. So looking at the table on your study guide, the cube root of 27 is 3. The cube root of 343 is 7. When I factor my perfect cube, I will get a binomial and a trinomial. To get the first term of the trinomial, I'm going to go 3x squared. That's how I got 9x squared. I'm going to take 7 and square it. That's how I got 49. To get my middle term, I am going to go 3 times 7 is 21. There has to be one negative in this problem. If I start out with a positive, the positive is right here and the negative is right here. If I start with a negative, it comes first. So now I need to find the solutions. I'm going to pretend the 3 isn't there. Negative 7 makes it 0 because negative 7 plus 7 is 0. Divide by 3. For my trinomial, this won't factor. Notice my degree is 2. If my degree is 2, then I could use the quadratic formula. If my degree is not 2, I cannot use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is only for a degree of 2. So here's my A is 9. My B is negative 21. My C is 49. I plug it into the equation. That's how I got this solution. So at the very beginning, I said my degree was 3. We have to have 3 solutions. Here's 1. Then plus or minus, that gives me a total of 3. In problem number 12, we're going to find the solutions. My degree is 4. I have to have 4 solutions. I cannot use the quadratic equation because my degree is 4. I only could use it when my degree is 2, because that would be quadratic. So make it equal to 0. That's why I subtracted. I have minus 100. That's why I added 100 to both sides. So now I got x to the 4th minus 29x squared plus 100. What multiplies to 100 and adds to negative 29? That's negative 4 and negative 25. That multiplies to 100, adds to negative 29. Then I ask myself the question, what number minus 4 is 0? That number is 4, so x squared equals 4. What number minus 25 is 0? 25, because 25 minus 25 is 0. To get rid of these squares, I'm going to do square root. That's how I got plus or minus 2, and that's how I got plus or minus 5. My degree is 4. Here's 4 answers. 1, 2, 3, 4.